Hey guys, and welcome to another mail opening. Let's see what the postman had in his sack for me today. Actually, to be fair, all of these parcels arrived on 4 different days. In fact, this first parcel's been waiting for like maybe a week to be opened. But I didn't want to open it on its own, and then I had this coming, and then I thought he had more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff coming, but I don't, so I guess I'll just open all this in this one as well. And I do actually have a large bundle of figures to open as well, but I'm going to spread that out into another video. Okay, so let's get on with it. Because like I say, this little dude's been sat in here waiting to be opened for like a week. I don't know if it's showing up very well, but it's kind of muddy. Kind of muddy, this one. I've never seen that before, but yeah. Okay, let's get in there. This is someone I've already actually opened on a mail opening before, but I've ordered a new one because I realised I just wasn't happy with the one I already had. And it is a Mankind Elite. Now, it's not in the best of conditions, I'll be honest. It definitely needs a clean. Probably some of this I'm not going to be able to clean off. It's actually not great at all, to be honest. But one thing it does have is the mask, which is what I wanted it for, to be honest. The last time I bought a Mankind figure, I wasn't happy in the end with the fact that it didn't come with a mask. And to be honest, the joints were really loose as well. They were very wobbly. This little fella, he's come with a mask. He looked okay on the listing, although I'll be honest, I didn't inspect either of these figures as well as I probably should. I'm not really sure what I spent on this. Something tells me it was maybe a little bit much given the condition of this. But yeah, I wanted to get a Mankind with a mask on. I also still want to get a Mankind in the brown suit so I can alternate between the two, but I digress. The joints seem pretty good on this one. It's just the condition. I guess that's for a fig bath video if I ever get around to doing one. But it could be worse. Okay, so I spent £9.90 on this, which isn't too bad. And it's cheaper than the previous one I got with the dodgy joints and no mask. So it's not that bad, but yeah, a little bit disappointed with the condition. We'll have to see how it cleans up. And then we'll go on to the next one. Now, I definitely paid more for this. And as I say, I definitely didn't inspect the listing as much as I should have done on a loose Elite that I was spending about £15 on. So I definitely should have inspected this one better. But it looked fine from a distance. But, you know, that's how they get you. So this, it's one I've been after for a little while. It's an Elite Curt Hawkins. And I imagine that it's been a combination of feeling like I don't want to pay that sort of money for a loose one. I'm going to assume I didn't really get a good price on this. I'm going to assume that in previous times where I've bidded on them, I haven't wanted to go to that £15 mark. And possibly also at some stage I've seen them cheaper or something, because that often puts me off if I know I could have had something cheaper at a different time. But in the end, we got this one for 15. So the head looks in really good condition. The paint all seems to be there. The hair all seems to be fine. There's no major dings or marks or anything. Tattoo on his wrist is fine. The jacket looks okay. Looks more or less fine. The H on the inside, that decal is looking good. That's mostly looking fine. There's a little paint chip on the side there. But ultimately, there's one on this side as well. But ultimately, I feel like that's pretty good. My main concern with this figure is the jelly legs. What's this? What's going on here? And I happen to have discovered before with the Shawn Michaels figure that when knees are like this, it's very hard to fix. You know, you could boil them and kind of try and separate them, but I mean, that's worked pretty well on its own, to be fair. But what I found with the Shawn Michaels was you couldn't get it perfectly right. Luckily, with that Shawn Michaels, I ended up going through 3 of them in the end, and I swapped the legs. I ended up with one of all the best parts, all the best joints and stuff, just Frankenstein together. And that's the one that I still have now. I'm not going to be able to do that with Curt Hawkins because I'm not going to come across them as easily. We got the the cane with him as well, so that's a nice touch. And of course, he's got the jacket. I mean, it's just a great guy, isn't he? Great guy to have along. I feel like in the past I probably haven't rated him as highly as I do now. So yeah, it was time to pick him up. It's time to get him for £15. He's a good roster filler, really, isn't he? He doesn't have to shoot for the stars, but you can team him up with Zack Ryder, or you can chuck him in to lose matches and stuff like that. And to be honest, I need more people like that in my Fed that you can just sort of, wild cards that you can just sort of chuck into anything. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And I guess if I was going to ask for one of these two figures to be in better condition, it would have been this guy. He'll probably see more use than Mankind. I paid more for him than Mankind. And I do already have a Mankind and two Cactus Jacks. So yeah. Okay. And on to the last little bits. These are Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I was thinking I'd ordered more stuff, but I hadn't, because I haven't actually settled on what deck I want to play at the moment. But I've picked up a few bits that I needed anyway, like staple stuff that, I've put off buying, or they've just been reprinted, and I thought that I should, get them done. So these cards are from a buyer that was doing a deal that was something like buy 5, get 20% off. Something like that. And I'll just get the tape off the top loader. If I'm honest, I hate when people do this and tape the top of the top loader. Best case scenario, it does nothing. Worst case scenario, your cards get stuck to it. And either way, it ruins the top loader. Like, you can't send a card out yourself when it's like this sticky, unless you're going to tape over the residual stick. And then, you're doing a mail opening video and you can't get in there. What you're going to do, stick some scissors in there? No, because the cards are right there at the top. It's not even rippable. Okay, I lied. I am going to put scissors in there. Where are my scissors? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Where's that modelling knife I broke in the Eddie Guerrero NW opening? Where's that exposed blade? I'll use that. I literally can't find my scissors anywhere, but, after looking for too long, I just peeled it off in the end. But yeah. So the first thing we've got here is a reprint I was after. It's a deck I'm still not going to be able to play, but it's reprint of Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. I always wanted to play Galaxy, but it's one of them archetypes that gets cards from like here, there, and everywhere in products. So it's always been very difficult to get everything together. And I also can't really be bothered with the fact that it always has expensive cards. So like Galaxy Soldier, for example, used to be £20 each. I've got 3 of them now, but, it was a bit ridiculous. Now that this has been reprinted, because these were £8 each, now that this has been reprinted, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord is £50 instead of 20. So, it's just an ongoing thing. But I thought I'd better pick up the 3 Afterglow Dragon anyway, for a case where we are able to play Galaxy at some stage. It's better to get them and not need them. I got 3 because I'm not sure how many you would actually play, but they were only £1, and like I say, it was buy 5, get so many off kind of thing. I also got a Boral Sword Dragon. It's just a good staple. I'm always looking for like Link 4s and stuff like that to go into. I'll be honest, my Link monsters I'm massively behind on, because there's a block mentally that just makes me want to not embrace the Link mechanics. So unless a card like is directly archetype relevant, or I get it in a pack or something, I don't consciously do it, but I just don't think to look into what good generic Link monsters to make. And the final thing is another thing that really needed a reprint. It actually looks a bit more vibrant than it usually does here. It's a totally awesome. Yeah, when I came to make a water deck, Ice Jade, I wanted a Toad, but I didn't £10 want a Toad because I kind of hate this card. I'm not a big fan of the artwork. I just don't think it fits the Yu-Gi-Oh aesthetic. I mean, it's grown on me over time, but, still. And I really don't like the way it works either. But yeah, it's been reprinted now, so it's cheap. So now I kind of have to get it because, it's kind of mandatory in water decks. And finally, the other Yu-Gi-Oh card stuff. This is something that my friend Tom, who I play most of my Yu-Gi-Oh games with, just convinced me to pull the trigger on in the end by using them against me loads. And that is 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. It's just a great card. Again, it's something I was just putting off buying. Recent reprint means that the price is like through the floor for them, so I thought I'd better pick them up while I could. Seller only had 2, unfortunately, but he did have a deal on buy one, get one half price. So these were around £7. So, you know, that was pretty good. I think these were like £4 individually, but then this guy had them listed like a little bit cheaper, and, you know, 2 of them got one half price. So, you know, it was cheaper that way. Shame he didn't have a third one, but I digress. And we're probably still going to need to pick some more copies of that up, because we'll probably just end up chucking it in every deck under the sun. But I digress. That is everything for this mail opening video. So if you've enjoyed this, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And check out the mail opening playlist in the end screen. Check out my other content as well. And that wrestling figure bundle I was just talking about, mail opening for that will be up probably next week. I don't really want to do 2 mail openings in 1 week. So we'll see how I feel, but probably next week. And that being said, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.